Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Dead End here in Cities Skylines. Last episode, we built our own graveyard crematorium area and a brand new town within the region, which is now connected via the highway and a train stop in a beautiful little section. As always, guys, I asked you to give me some name suggestions of what we're going to be pretty much calling this brand new town. Got a couple of name suggestions that we're going to be looking through. And guys, if you haven't already, please smash that like button down below if you are enjoying the series. Subscribe if you're new so you're notified when that next episode does come out. But there was quite a few name suggestions for this brand new town, which we got set up. Where is it? Here it is. Which at the minute is called Cypress Square, which is the default name given to us by the game. It's connected by the beautiful sunken train line that tears through Tumbleweed right now, all the way over to here. And we do have this beautiful flat piece of land up above, which I've got maybe a really good idea of what we could potentially do with that area, which I'm quite excited about. So there was a bunch of name suggestions. There was stuff like I think it was like calling it ditch, which I thought was quite a cool little name, but I don't feel like there's pretty much of a ditch here. It's just more of a kind of elevated section like there. Little Mountain was a pretty good one because it's near a little mountain, but I feel like we should save that for a place that's in the mountains. And what I liked the most was simply called Oxbrook. And there's no story or backstory behind it. I just kind of like the name of Oxbrook. It's one. Oh no, I'm doing it all in the wrong way. It's one of those places that sound like it started from humble beginnings. I should not capitalize the B. And we could do really cool stuff with it. Like we can literally call the station here Oxbrook Train Station. And I've got a really cool idea for what we could do with the flatland area behind of it. So welcome to Oxbrook Train Station. There we go. Beautiful little place. You can maybe make the backstory that used to be like an ox cattle farm or something like that on these lands. But I'm thinking the Aviation Club. It seems like the perfect place to stick. I wouldn't say like an airport. I don't think an airport is the right place to go about building here. Either the Aviation Club or maybe we could stick a small airport down. It's quite a beautiful little flat place. We'd have to kind of do some configuration for the train line here, but it might work, guys. It actually might work. My first thought was Aviation Club, but maybe an airport to some extent. I don't know whether an airport just yet. I don't know. We'll see. But today I want to focus on actually our oil industry. Cactus Oil Company. Where I want to create an import-export route for these guys because at the moment they are driving all the way out. It's fun, it's glorious, it's beautiful, but it's not efficient enough. We want to get them in and out as easy as possible, which is why I want to create an import-export route. Now, we are going to be using trains, and at the minute, the train line comes in from this angle. I'm not sure how I'm going to kind of implement it to go all the way over, but we got quite a bit of money that we can also expand it and hopefully bring and create and export more and more goods. At the moment, we're only making a couple of dollars, but hopefully with increasing the import exports will change things slightly. So how are we going to set things up then? So we have the train line coming in from both sides. We need to get it onto the other side of the tracks. Now we are initially going to want these connected. And seeing as we've implemented sunken lines in the past, I might create a sunken line here to get these connected rather than going underground like we did with this one over here. But then how do we get them all connected? My options are, do I follow the train line to the road line leading all the way up? I mean, that could be a possibility. Or do I have the train line connected from somewhere else? Does it come all the way up to here before we get like a more of a solid connection elsewhere? That also could be a possibility. There's a bunch of possibilities I can pretty much kind of go with, isn't there? But I don't know which is going to be the right one for us. Trains are the perfect one at the moment. We do have a little bit of a shipping route coming in, but it's so far out the way at the moment, it doesn't make any sense to building something like that. We're just going to keep it simple, localized, and beautiful is pretty much what we're going to do. So let's check out first then the terrain heights. So we got to get it up to here. And by the look of it, by the look of it, guys. I wouldn't say bringing it all the way around the region and then bringing it down would be the best option, but it might be. I first got to figure out, where I'm going to create the little connection for it to begin with, which might then mean I push back some land or something like that. But let's just sort this out first. Once I got this all hooked up, then the rest should just fall into place. So, now this is going to be difficult because we no longer have, because my finger's broken, I think the Fine Anarchy mod tool has slightly messed up. So I'm not going to get that kind of structure in place. We're going to have to kind of then sink this down ourselves. So if I drop that down like to here, and that is how we're then going to create or get the sunken effect this time round. I'm not entirely sure why it's all of a sudden broken. So if I bring that to here, and we have to anarchy it to that point, just so I can select it all, select the nodes, there we go, and get into the same object height as that one. Now this is going to be the real question. Oh, actually, do you know what? We need to go a little bit lower, don't we? So if I go right down to about here, and there we go. We then have to technically elevate these roads, which is something that we actually can't do at the minute. I can't just flick a switch and they be elevated anymore, which is really annoying how that mod is now kind of slightly broken on us. We don't get that effect no more because, again, the Fine Anarchy is completely... I think it's the... not the Fine Anarchy. What is the Fine Road tool or something like that? It's something like that. I can do the elevation, but ultimately it's not perfect anymore for us, guys. So if I connect that there, it won't work. I get rid of the anarchy. It's like, how much more sunken down does it need to be for it to work? What if I reduce the step? No. I don't realize how much I relied on that previous tool. So maybe for the sake of it, I'm just going to leave it like this. And then once that mod is working again, we'll go back to normal. But that's really annoying. So if I bring that to there then, all the way around, it's not perfect, but it shall do. And if I go for a gradual incline in this train line here, from there to there and do a sloped, we're coming down more gradually. And if I pick from here, then push in pretty much all the way up to here, and we slope those, we get more of a gradual indentation coming down. But until that mod is I have the ability to re-enable it again, this is just what we're going to have to kind of put up with. It's annoying, but it is what it is at the end of the day, isn't it? It is what it is. I think the actual mod itself is broken at the minute. It just all of a sudden... I've seen quite a few people complain about it. It's a bit of a weird one. So we'll have to leave it like that for now until we can kind of sort it out in the future. But it doesn't really stop us doing anything. We now have train lines tearing through. And at the minute, the train line does end there. I'm going to have to kind of get these all connected. But we need to bring a train line in. So we have to figure out then, where are we going to want to implement the exportation or the import-export area through this section? So I could have them actually utilize this roundabout, bring this up to here to create something maybe here. Then looking at the terrain heights again, I can run the train line. The train line can actually kind of follow around, maybe go up or lead into this area. It's quite a gradual process, or we can slowly incline it ourselves over to that area. There's a couple of methods in which we can kind of go with. But let's just kind of first rock and roll with this. And we're utilizing these 4-lane roads. I don't think we need a 4-lane road at the minute. So from there to there is 5. So if I do a 15, or do a 5, then a 10. Just to do that so I can create them a little bit of a bend. So use the national road then so we can kind of lead us in, this direction. Am I using this to be dedicated to turning into this area? I kind of am, aren't I? So if I bring this down, say about, let's do a 15 by 15 bend. There we go. It kind of bends round. And then if I do a well, come off here. And then run diagonally. Like that. Delete you. And then where does that kind of take place? That's a 10 by 10 there. So he kind of swings all the way around, which is pretty nice. And then we'll just smoothen those edges off. Or maybe not as much as I would liked. So that highway road can kind of tear all the way down to there. And we can then add in like warehouses, add in our import-export kind of stuff. So it's all there in place for us. So we want to incorporate then our industrial roads. And I'll pick a point, let's say just here, which can kind of lead up to there. And we actually want to do it in a one-way system. So if because I've got to figure out as well how wide I want to go with this. So if I do a 10 and then run back a 10 there. Actually, what's the distance here? So if I go up by a 6 and go that way, it's going to be a 3 by 3 on the old bend. Now, that's not to say I want to do a 2-lane road. So a 3 by 3, a 3 by 3. And if we do another 10 cutting across, 10 there cutting in. And then we do a 3 by 3. So we have this dedicated import exportation area, which we have a one-way routed system, which is going to be really, really handy. And then the cargo area will get connected right there. Now, is this area a little bit too close to the highway? I feel like we need to slightly move this along a bit more. So if I delete that, and if we select all of that as one object, and then slightly reposition it. So if I brought that to... Actually, I could rotate it, couldn't I? I could actually make it run semi-parallel. So if I did it like this, where it's almost semi-parallel, it also then allows me to, in the future, if we extend the line going down that way, have the line also go at the back, so that becomes the connecting section. So if I have that in my mind that that's something that we might do or have the ability to do, then I'll utilize this as being the main train line. And then that just becomes like a connection to it. So if I do it like that, and then off we go. That's how it's going to work. So we can have that little bypass that continues to go up. But that doesn't solve our little issue here just yet, because I only need to connect this in. So if I went a 6 by 7 by 8 by... Okay, so if I go for a 7 instead, by 7, kind of creates that. I'm not feeling that. Not feeling that at all. Or what if this road in its entirety bent into that? Still utilizing that highway style road. So if I came off in the middle section just here by 5, we're connecting down there at 12. Well, where does the 12 take place? That's a 10. 12 by 12 just there. So as of right now, it's a straight road into this area. I've kind of left it kind of wailing quite wide and quite through. So we still got all this stuff to kind of connect with. We might have to connect something that goes down this way. I don't know. It might be completely blank and bare. I don't know. I could lead little roads coming out to create warehouses and stuff like that. Again, we don't fully know just yet. But what I do know is we'll create this out there. That to there. Get a little bit of a bend on the go. There we go. And let's make sure that all of this is set up correctly. There we go, boys. We still have the built-in car wash, which I think that's now just going to be a remaining feature for the remainder of this whole series. And now we just need to kind of figure out how we're getting the train line connected all the way up. So I like how this bends, it comes down and bends around. There'll be a lot of changes to this. I can eventually see that road going up in that direction. I can see us building something over here. So this is always going to keep changing. At the minute, it's just a straight bend around. Kind of give it a little bit of space to kind of bend around with. More driving distance to kind of disperse the traffic a little bit more evenly. we're going to be good to go. So, right. The more I look at this, the more I really don't like this, but it is what it is, isn't it? I now need to figure out a connection, a way to get the train line up. So, we have to first think about them, because we got to get the train line going up. So technically cross 2 roads to lead over to here. Now, if I created like a trumpet junction here, right, that bent up and went over and then carried us all the way down, that could be a possibility, but it is quite an engineering project. Really, isn't it? I could lead it up to here. It's quite a tough one, this is, isn't it? To kind of squeeze something in without making it look so ridiculous. And you can see that the terrain here, again, if I bent it round to there, crossed it over, came up to here, we don't really have much to play with. But we had the biggest space here to do a trumpet junction there. I have some space here to do a trumpet junction, but it's a little bit too close. So I think for now, we'll probably end up building it here. So if I pick a point, let's say there, and then go up by 10. And if I do a 15, I don't need to be a 15, I actually need to be like 21, don't I? Which then by saying that, I gotta delete this. So if I go there, and let me just go up by 5. There we go. So that retains the distance, so trains can have the ability to wait and, you know, take their time. So from there, go up by 5. And if I do some 10 by 10s, and then I've got the option to either make it go underground or above ground. Now, because we don't have that mod installed at the moment, we're just going to keep it very simple with this format. It's not ideal. It's not what I want to build. But I don't really have much of an option yet until I have that rest of that mod installed. So that creates our little junction just there. And then now we need to connect the 2 ends. So I won't be able to fine tune it that well. I'm just complaining right now that I don't have that mod, don't I? That's all I'm really pretty much doing. So I want to run this all the way up. So if I carry this in a straight line, say up to here, as it slowly elevates up the hill, which is not too bad at the moment, but it then does slowly start to get a little bit sharp. But I need to create a connection directly over to there. So I feel like I'm going to have to do a little bend to incline, then to bend to go back around up to there. So if I picked a point, let's say here, where that does kind of go all the way through. If I elevated you to here and brought that there, so we get that little kind of a bridge effect. 14 by 14, or 15 almost. Alright, that's as good as I'm going to get it at the minute. Until we sort out some more of these connections. So 11 by 11. Bam. So, not amazing. But until I have that mod installed back in again, I can't really do much with playing around. And until we do build more of these areas up, that connection could eventually change. This train line could eventually just wiggle all the way down to a shipping route. So that could also be a possibility. But let me see where I can kind of fix some of this stuff. Let's see where we can kind of fix it. So, right, if I selected you, and you, and see if we can do some type of sloped feature here. So it's not, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a little bit better. Alright, if I select, well, select you, 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 and you, and then go for a slope. Yeah, that's not going to work out too well. Just because of how these are now being perceived. But there's not really much I can do. So I'm just going to have to suck it up. But it does show you how much I rely on that one mod. But there's little things I can do to make it a little bit better. But there we go. It's not perfect, but eventually it will be perfect. It will be fixed. It looks horrible. I really don't like it. I don't like this, but it shows you how much I rely on that one mod to allow me to kind of like, you know, do elevation changes and stuff like that. It is kind of annoying that I can't do it. But let's stop complaining for a second because your boy now has an exploitation area just here. So it needs power. And what we'll do is we'll incorporate in the solar panel car parking feature, which I'm going to actually anarchy this into the building itself, which I'll put it just there. So it looks like it's part of the actual building itself. And now we have an import-export area, which is pretty exciting. So you can kind of go around if you need to, or just straight in and around. Do what you need to do. And it will allow me then to kind of build up a bit more. So we're actually missing an oil pump just here. Is that something else that burnt down in the past? Probably. One just there. We'll look at now is to get in some small oil wells. So we'll do one there and one there. One there and one there. And we'll see how these go. So this should really now start up our oil production in many ways. So let me see what else I can kind of throw into it then. So we've got a couple of those in. Large oil drills. Am I overloading this area a bit too much right now? I mean, maybe I can get away with a large one just at the very end just here. And I think that's probably as much as I want to place in this area without overloading it too much. Otherwise, when they all start producing, they throw out a load of vehicles. It'll probably get a little bit messy. So at least we've got a little bit more control on that, which is good. I won't do any more production bonus just yet because I noticed that they did still complain about not enough goods for a while. So we'll just kind of see how things tick along. And we're just pretty much now waiting for people to start using this. Now, I remember when we created this one, and this one's using this end of this region over here, this segment there. I had to reload the game. Now, this one is just so happening to be using this one because obviously we don't have the connection there set up. So I have a feeling I might have to reload the game to get this one up and running again. I mean, I could delete it. Where is it? I can delete it up to there. I could delete it if it will allow me to do it. Sometimes the game throws a hissy fit. And then just place it back down. Like that. And that there is a little bit too close. That first node. Oh, damn. Let me slope these bad boys. And it still could be pushed out a little bit more further, but we're not going to have too much train traffic for that to be a huge issue. But we're just pretty much now waiting for vehicles to start using it. I really do need to figure out how to get rid of that at some point, don't I? I really do. So it's just a waiting game then. I remember last time it just took forever. It could be that I do need to reload the game. But we'll keep an eye on it. If nobody starts using this, then we know we're in a little bit of trouble. But we'll keep an eye on this. No trains are coming in just yet, are they? How's it looking? You all good? You all good? They can connect here, right? Yep. I mean, if I did connect these two lines over there, then we're pretty much back in business anyway. But I feel like it might be a simple reload of the game. So I'll reload the game real quick. Once it's all done and dusted, we'll never have to kind of mess about with that again. So that's all good. So just give me one. Right, there we go, guys. I've reloaded the game, and there is cargo trains already incoming. So, not sure what this is going to be dropping off. Looks like a bunch of different vehicles. I wonder where they're going to be going. I wonder if they're going to be, like, leading to the oil industry, or they're going to be chugging along. I think because this might be then considered the closest point. But I just noticed, actually, I'm going to reconfigure this. So if I go back to there, and we'll go with these little one pieces. So if I went up a 5 by 5, then is that a 5 here? That's a 4. 5 by 5 and a keyed in. Right. And I mean, it would be ideal to kind of treat that as a single road. So maybe then upgrading that to that style of road, but then upgrading it to the slip road on that bend, so I can allow vehicles to flow in and out super easy. Because I can't do that as a slip road because it won't be classed as a connected road. It looks like a little bit of a love heart now, doesn't it? It's weird, but cool all at the same time. Yeah, it's not proportional or centered, but should do the trick. So we're now just waiting for vehicles to now start using it to export the goods. We've got vehicles, you know, exports and goods coming inwards, which can just fly straight out of the region and out of that area. Some go straight on, some go around the roundabout, some are just exiting, which is good to see. But we're not really seeing anybody using it to export just yet, though, are we? So that's interesting. But that oil company is producing a lot more oil right now, so we'll start, you know, selling more. But we'll just give them time. This stuff takes a little bit of time. It could be that, you know, we got a high crime rate over here, so maybe I do drop a little bit of a small little police station down. We got the fire depot over here, so I'll drop the police station just there, just so we got one nearby for the crime needs. And hopefully, the police can come through here. If any police want to come around here, you know, it's up to you guys. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it'll be quite nice. Yeah. Right. We know it works because they're bringing goods in. Here comes another train. But we'll just leave it. We'll see what happens. Maybe they just don't want to use a train. That could be what the issue is. So, let's take a look at this area then. Now, I did play around or think about the idea of doing an airport. I don't know if I want to or not. I feel like an airport over here, I mean, it would work. Don't get me wrong. But I don't feel it's the right place for an airport. On the other hand, though, if I can find it, the Aviation Club. Where is it? It's here. See, this could work a lot better. Because it's more recreational. It's part of this small little town. I've just got to figure out how I would do a connection going across. Would it be as simple as just connecting, say, this to over here? So that was a 4. So if I then go by a 6, so that was a solid 10. And I lead this, you know, say to there, where that next 10 section would be. And then if I do a 10 there, go in, let's say... No, I don't feel like it needs to kind of go down that way. So where would that Aviation Club drop now? If I pull it here, there. Maybe I want it slightly on a diagonal. So if I ran a road by 10, so if I go there, run that to there. Aviation Club. Oh no, the mountain of the runway. Yeah, okay, I can't do it like that. It might have to be something like this. But having the runway right where the road is that a good idea? Maybe go back by 1. So I'm toying around with ideas and designs. See, I think that would work a lot better. So if I drop this, say, here. Right, the Aviation Club. Smoothing the land out a bit. It takes off just before this road. We're going to put like a few little maybe houses that could go down there, which will be pretty cool as that road kind of bends round. It's in line with this as well, which is pretty sweet. Is that dropped too much? It looks a little bit too much. So maybe I bring this corner down to compensate for it. There we go. Smoothing the land out around it. So if I flatten back a bit, like there, because it is quite a big chunk of land. And then obviously smooth as much as we can. So, you know, they're coming into land there, which is not, it's not like it's not a normal landing approach. Unless I pushed it down a bit to here. So I've pushed it a bit further down. So that landing approaches a bit more. And just to kind of make it, you know, not seem as bad. Right, I'll push right back. Smoothing all that. There we go. It's not too bad now, is it? Look at that approach. That's not bad at all. So, just sort this one out on the very other end. So, thread all that out there so it looks a bit normal. Push all that up to here. And you have that little bit of a edge there. You can't drop that single bit, can you? No. I mean, I could technically bring it down. And you do get these little edges, but I think you know, it's quite unique to the area, isn't it? We'll go with it. Yeah, let's go with that then. It's all good. It's all good. So play mode then. We'll just sort the road connection out. So 11 by 11. Bam. Going in that direction. I could have that snapping all the way down, so you kind of get like the same vibe just here. And then I can then build maybe cul-de-sacs coming off there like we got on the edges just here. Oh, it reminds me, I've got to do these before I do forget. And then the airplanes can fly over the house. It's quite a cool little unique area, isn't it? I like it. So I'll put the water going across, down to here, straight across to there, to there and there. So it gives pretty much Uxbrook right now its very own unique draw to the area, right? So what I'll do is I'll get some commercial down. So I'll build like a little commercial section just here. Just there and there as it picks up all the passers-by. Train station there, and we do know that train stations do work and have the capacity to... I'm not sure if this one will work or allow us to do it, to have people cross over that way. If not, I'll push him in with a little path there. Get people over. So they haven't got to walk all the way up to there and round. So that at the moment is the only connection in. Might do another future one at some point. I'm having those a couple of stores just there. And bridges over the power gap. And then we call this Uxbrook Aviation Club. Nice. So that's pretty cool. We got some recreation going on. It'll be interesting to see how many people use it. Should add a little bit of leisure to the area. And it might also give the train station a little bit more oomph for people to use it. Because they know that they could, you know, get to this place by traveling to it. There's a lot of people walking over. So, yeah, that train station becomes more and more desirable to start using. I like it. Right, over here. Something is not right because now it's also complaining about multiple problems. It's as if... Right. It's as if the road is broken. They can all come out, but it's like they can't drive in. Now, I wonder if I do that, right? Actually, let me delete that. No, let me put that back in. I'm going to replace it back down. I have some, like a sneaky suspicion something's not quite right here. There we go. Maybe they'll start using that instead. Because they can drive out of the area, but they can't drive in. I'll upgrade this road to being this style of road. Can't see it being that. All that leads into that way, so it's all good. I wonder what's stopping them from using this train station. I mean, it's not a train track, because trains come in. That's perfectly fine. That's not stopping people. Oh! Hello! We finally figured it out, what the issue was. So, why are you doing that? Why is that lane management set up like that? Wow. Then I suppose because I set the roundabout up before. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. How do I clear a roundabout again? Shifted click. Is that now set up? I don't know, but that now allows vehicles to drive in, right? That's what the issue was. I mean, it's still not set to be able to do that. But that's what it was with the lane management. So we should now start seeing vehicles use it, which means I can upgrade this back to being a national road. I preferred it when it was like that. So now they realise that they can now use it. If that was the issue the whole time, that roundabout, it's dead to me. Still not seeing anybody want to drive in though. But we figured it out, right? There we go! Finally! It's broken the seal. Jeez. Well, that was stressful. That was real stressful right there. So, let's bulk up then Uxbrook. Let's get more people living here. So, a little industrial area around here might be... Nah, I won't do it because the connection leading out will be too much. So let's add a little bit more industrial area over here then. Let's kind of now bulk up that little strip and that little strip to create more jobs to then create more residential need and growth. How's the water? Our power is like almost lacking, but I think we should be okay still. That'll bring him, that will kind of satisfy a lot of the industrial demand and hopefully utilize this entrance over that one. That's the reason why we get it all set up like that. And how is our waste facility? Now, someone said it would be cheaper to place or change these to the eco ones because technically I wouldn't have to place as many of these down. Thus, then in the grand scheme of things, it would be cheaper. And I think you might be right on that. So 480 to kind of utilize these. So, all right, let me get rid of these. Because I might not have to place any more of them right now. Because I need to place more of these to make the water clean. But if I'm using eco pumps from the get-go, then we could be onto a little bit of a winner. So if I place down multiple like this, and they're not all connected by pipes. No, no. I'll try and delete the pipe. I should have deleted the pipes first. And then start again. There we go. Oh, zooming right in, boys. So there seems to be a weird pipe connection there, doesn't there? Right, we'll start that one again. So, yeah, I've got so many connected. Don't need that many connected. But the whole reason for this is because obviously you guys kind of said, like, if I use the eco-treatment water outlets, the water it drops in is not as polluted as the normal sewage outlets, meaning I need less of these floating garbage collectors to clean the water, because obviously it'll be coming through a lot cleaner. Now that will be cheaper than building what I was originally doing, because obviously these are like 1,100 to run. So I need so many to clean the sewage outlets. If the water's already semi-clean coming through, I won't need as many, which then it should save me money. Hold on. I'm losing like 30... What's happened? What's happened? Water availability has dropped down considerably. Right. Where's my water? My water's over here. It's because this doesn't have power. And that doesn't have power because this doesn't have water? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, now we panic, guys. Now we legit panic. So, water there. But obviously, I need power. And we don't have power because we don't have water. Yikes. Yikes. So that... Are we now back to normal? Have you got water over here? No. No. Okay, we're panicking. We're panicking. Right, we'll give this town a water tower. Right there. Which should hopefully push water over to the power thing. We're back to normal. Ha 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 ha. Oh my goodness me, that was a panic and a half, guys. That was legit a panic and a half right there. Right, are we now going back to normal? I think we are. I think we are. So we'll give this time then to kind of push this or flush all this brand new water through. Because it'll take a while before we start seeing the eco water, because it's still filled up with sewage water. Yikes, that was scary, wasn't it? Now we're gonna have unlimited water availability. Damn, son. Damn. And at the same time right now then, we've actually caused a little bit of a residential growth. So lots of people have died. Of course they have, because we just had a monstrosity happen on us. But let's now add in the residential. So, yeah, we're going to go right up to the edge of the road. That's fine. There we go. Because this is what this town is all about, pretty much. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. And I might as well throw that up there. So it's quite a lot that I'm throwing in. And we'll get a little bit more commercial just here. And I think that's as much as we're going to want to do with this town, right? Like, that is it. That is what I want to do with it. So let that kind of build itself up. And then we'll see what we get from that. We got a lot of issues now just appeared out of nowhere. Well, I say out of nowhere, from the power just dropping down. So now it's releasing all of our garbage trucks at once to go and save the city. But it'll eventually sort itself out. It's not too much of a worry just yet. So, it looks like then the water dripping out is not as powerful as it once was. So I have a feeling that these eco plants do they pump out the same amount of water? These pump out, okay, 125, 60,000. Okay, so it's actually a lot less they pump out, but it's meant to be a lot cleaner though, isn't it? So in terms of pollution, it's a lot better. We're still polluting. Don't get me wrong, we're still polluting, boys. But it's a lot better. So average drinking water pollution, 0. But we're not pumping any water from here. But that's all good. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Right then, so garbage trucks should be like dispatched, clean up all the mess, which I believe they are. Good, 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 good. We'll start seeing some growth over here soon when we get more residential growth coming in. But we got lots of industrial growth. Now they're using this, which is great. we are considering getting more money coming in. Not enough buyers for these products, so it looks like we need to extend over here. So we're making petroleum. I believe it's time we now extend it to the next product, which for us will be plastics. So I'm going to squeeze... right, if I squeeze... Well, I'll put them on the very end here. If I do one there, and then one there, both sides. So they got water, yeah. Power, yeah. So 2 plastic plants right now, which will utilize some more of that oil that we have in excess of. And do you reckon we should do like a bridge going over? So I ain't got to drive all the way up and round. We can like just cut out the middleman. That might be a good little idea. I won't do it yet, because obviously I want that my thingy back in. So I can create a smoother bridge. But at least technically we have more buyers for the products now at this point, which is good. Export nearby, which is beautiful. Things are rocking and rolling for us. So once I got my mod back in, we'll eventually sort all this out. We seem to have a bit of a jam here. What's going on here? Can nobody figure out what lanes they need to be in? We're backed up for days for some reason. You okay, game? As everyone funnels through there. Oh, okay. We got a... Oh, okay. We have jams coming in. Jams coming in for days. So I think it might be a good idea to create an alleviation road that kind of passes around, that bypasses the roundabout, or we could filter it to being a 2-lane here. Let's do that first, because it's quite a big job to go down that road. So if I set this to be a 2-laner here, and then we did an asymmetrical road there where it's 2 lanes leading in, and we just make sure that we've got this set up correctly. So it pretty much splits the traffic into 2 lanes as they come up onto this approach. So vehicles that want to go around that way can be in the left-hand lane, which means at some point we can bring 2 through. We have increased the population, so obviously that in certain areas and like traffic, so that is also going to cause an increase in vehicles coming in. But they're all wanting to go down this way and to come into this area, which is interesting. Now, what I need to say... Oh, some of them are going around that way. Now, what I'm going to say is... that is a solid turn off for there only. I wouldn't normally do it. But by doing that, then it really does separate the vehicles into the secondary lane. Because now they can't all make that go straight run on the right-hand lane. They have to then split themselves up, which will pull the vehicles out a bit more. So then do I I mean, I'm split into 2 lanes here. So at this point then, really, what I should be doing is upgrading this to a 4-lane road. Is what I should be doing at this point. 4-lane road in it. Because then it deciphers the traffic here a lot easier. Pumps all that in, which will get all that now moving. Didn't realise we had such big issues over on this side. And that will slowly pump it all through. People going to the left of the roundabout will use the left-hand lane. People going to the right will use the right-hand lane. It's crazy where all this traffic has all of a sudden come from. I mean, the roads do look a little bit dead, but I didn't realise we had that much demand in vehicles coming in right now. It's very interesting, but at least we're now pumping these vehicles through. That's the main thing. So give them time. They will pass through. We set up all our other roundabouts kind of semi-correctly. So you would think that things are going to be easy and good for us. But I just feel like for what we currently have, there's a lot of traffic, isn't there? Feels weird. It really does. But we do need to eventually get this train line connected as well. That's going to be very, very important for us. But I thought it was weird to have that huge traffic jam coming down here. It's like, it makes no sense. I haven't done anything that really incorporates to have that much traffic. So we're getting a little wind turbine down just there for that additional power usage. These little backlogs should be gone very, very soon. At least the industrial traffic can make its way in and out a whole lot easier. Because they're complaining at the moment there's not enough buyers for the products. But, that can be helped by placing down more commercial. So we get the little tail end down here. Is there traffic lights here? Or is that just the generic people turning to go into their certain routes? I just feel like there's all of a sudden like a lot of traffic. Like, for nothing. I haven't done anything. Or is the traffic been that bad for ages I haven't noticed it? Could be. Could be. But again, it's all flowing right now. And them little backlogs are slowly getting smaller and smaller. So it's going to be all good, boys. It'll eventually be all good for us. Right, that's pretty cool. So, there is traffic lights here, isn't there? Yeah. Get rid of them. I'll get rid of you. And you. Yeah, just down to there for now. Just eases the process a little bit. That means they all flow in a little bit quicker, which then moves the traffic off this roundabout a little bit quicker. We're getting there. And that, okay, this backlog's now completely gone on this side, so it's now literally just this backlog here. Damn. So there we go. So just simply upgrading the road capacity solved it. Just upgrading that really did solve that issue that we did have. And that will now disappear. Then we're pretty much back to normal. So, gotta watch the monies. Gotta watch all these vehicles now tearing through. Because we are starting to see that increase. But again, this is from the initial backlog that I just had. But gotta keep an eye on it though, because it will get a bit interesting. Gotta watch the money being made right now, because that is really going to have a big knock-on effect if we do have stuff like that happen. Huge traffic. It could have been when the city died, when we had no power. And as we give it power, it came back to life, and then all these people moved into these empty homes. It could have just literally been that. But we're getting back to normal right now. The money on the weekly basis is slowly coming in. The industrial is complaining less and less, so I think we've pulled it back. I think I killed the city and it came back to life. I literally think that's what it was. Yikes. Don't do that again, Seniac. Don't do that again. So this pollution water now is giving it a little bit of time. I don't know if I would agree that it's drinking water just yet. Because this is still kind of dark. You can't really see the flow there too much. But, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. But then, you know what? I actually think it is. Because even this here, it's not polluted, it's dark. I think that's just how it is, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what? It could be drinking water. We could be ready to start sucking up the water from there. Okay, okay. So, crisis now averted. But that was a good thing it did happen, though, because it just shows us, though, if anything traffic did happen. We're not equipped, but at least this road leading up, it's 2 lanes, split into a 1 and a 1 in that direction. Makes sense. Just widen it really did solve the problem. Guys, we're going to end it for here anyway. I hope you did enjoy this episode, as we now are craving more and more power. I need to pause it right now. More and more power, so we're going to have to quickly throw in something like this then, a solar plant, which I'm just going to drop here for now. But I feel like we might need to create like a little solar farm in the middle of the desert to provide all the power that's needed for this area. I really do think that. But guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, good. Bye.